Behold, it is I, your internet friend, Jerford K. Harkrims. Upon this day of celebration, this is it. We have the ultimate QVC.
It's like a fucking, right? What can we get you in today, friends? Let's go. Right now. We've got books. We've got grains. We've got hops.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say, like, we could
let's ShamWow this shit.
Yeah, we could murder this thing. In any case, let me return to the classic iteration of the process. Hello. I am your internet friend, Jeffrey K. Harkrims. However it came to be, you have stumbled ass backwards into Acquisitions Intoxicated, Twitch's brewery show, the entire purpose of which is to grant you entree into that which you already own.
Asmati Games, signed up, 1,000 books, it's in the books, everybody can see it. We will put the invoice in the mail. We have your address.
You'll be very excited to see the wholesale price.
Yeah.
Mr. Asmati Games, it's a real treat. In any case, the Art and Science of Brewing, you already have it. Join us, revel in it. Now, I am joined, as always, by Acquisitions Intoxicated Brewmaster Eric J. Benson. Although you may be, who is this Eric J. Benson fellow? I can help you. You almost certainly know him by one of his other names. It could be Azerbaijan, it could be the notorious EJB, or it could be Edge Benson. Any one of which, think of those as symbolic links. They all connect. Those are like shortcuts.
Do they form like a shape or something?
Well, no. Each individual link.
A constellational shape?
No. They just refer to Eric EJBenson.exe.
Interesting.
Right down here.
Okay.
The man you see before you. Now, that joke was mostly for the cameraman. Now, as we have suggested previously, thank you so much for all the festival, of subs. I really appreciate it. Now, it just keeps happening. Thanks, Rock. So, basically what we do, the narrative arc, if you will.
Yes, we do have cameramen.
Yeah. We have, here.
Come on out.
No, we can prove to you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Mandis. Now, Josh, can you show them the true power? Well, I guess, okay, boys, you come out here, join us on this day of celebration, my daughter's wedding day. All right. This gentleman, of course, Jack Lemmon, the Jackal Man, Ghostly Clockwork. They're the ones, especially when it comes time to do war games, they're the ones that make it look like a professional outfit.
Like we know what we're doing?
They make it look intentional in any way. All right, you're free to go. You don't have to do any more of that if you don't want to. Now, the big takeaway, of course, we're going to start by putting some ingredient here inside the step filter for our Pico Brew Z, which you've heard about. Now experience it. But what beer are we going to put in there?
This is a bonus that you would sign on to.
So we're actually going to do signing bonus today?
This is our Northeast IPA.
Our hazy.
Our hazy.
Right? And but essentially, like the fantasy, right? So this would be the first time it gets brewed, but theoretically, this is the one that we offer over to two beers, maybe for a full-on canning run. Yeah. They've had some very solid hazy experiences in the past.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
They make there's hazies. I mean, generally speaking, on the IPA side, hazies usually tend to be a little bit lower down to the ground. At least the ones that I've had, like ABV-wise.
ABV-wise,
yeah. It's okay to have a couple.
Yeah, you don't have to be 12% with this IPA.
No, and it doesn't get in the way of the juice, right? But man, they make some heavy they make some ordnance. Their hazies are a big deal up in there. So, first of all, so what's the grain bill, as they say, for this bad boy?
So this is very simple. Remember when we were building this, we're like, we want the juice to come through.
We want hops all day.
This is, and it's going to be interesting when you actually smell the grains, because you're still going to get these great flavors and smells coming off of it. It is...
It's Copeland 2-row.
Yep.
Right.
So 6.5 pounds of 2-row with a half a pound of Carapils.
I see. So
that's it.
The aroma is still...
Yeah, it's so delicious.
Oh, yeah.
Soak that in.
Yeah. Hang on a second.
Increased blue, yes. I have a weight loss goal. My doctor told me I have to lose 60 pounds by the end of the year. And so, yes, I am cutting out beer, so you'll notice me just sipping it.
I have noticed this in the past as well, and I've risen to the occasion. And then once you look the way that you want.
Oh, then we're going back.
Then
the scales are going to fucking tip all the way back.
It's like you have to think of it like this. Cosmically, Like there is an amount of beer.
Yeah.
And it's like the conservation of beer, like the law of the conservation of beer. It's like a certain amount must be consumed. We're just gonna go back and forth, for 40 years.
Yeah, exactly.
It'll be a good situation. Now, so let's throw these in here. No, you're right though. It is the build on it is not sophisticated, but it is still sweet. Well, you'll see the color. There's nothing really to look at here, but the aroma is still sweet and good.
Woo!
I'm a cool person. I can lift bags. God, it is lots of it though, huh? Yeah, I mean, it still has, oh, you know what it is? I was gonna say, you know what it is? Yeah, this is gonna, okay. I was like, oh, it smells like malt.
It's been real, guys. He did so well for so many months.
I was like, hey, Mr. Benson, you know what it smells like? Jesus Christ, Jerry. All right. No, it's more kind of a malt smell. All right. Now, hop-wise here. Hop-wise, friend. You did get the Huel melon.
Yeah. Open that up and take a whiff.
I was just going to say, no, that's the, I have to do my classic thing where I smell a bag. That's not how it works.
No.
Wow, are these Huel melons, are these more expensive?
It's a little bit more pricey, but
premium?
not over the top.
Yeah. Vivid, you have to love the text here. I'll just put it in the bag. Vivid impression of summer melon and ripe strawberry. That's the sort of text one wants to see on a hop sack. So how much are these bad boys? This first?
The whole thing.
Really?
Remember, this is
1 ounce. Oh, right.
We're not putting this. We're putting this in right at the end. This is all for flavor and aroma.
And so you can, and basically programmatically. What do you want to show them?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, because you can basically show them that you've reserved that for the end, right?
Yes. How do I open it up? There we go.
Wow.
Beta crafter.
Beta crafter. Whoa.
All right. So
what do you got here?
So you'll see, this is the new and improved.
Yeah, this is the new shit.
It's actually really great. Recipe crafter.
It's better?
Yeah.
You can tell?
Yeah, there's a lot more. You can adjust the temperatures a lot easier.
But it's nerdier,
yeah,
right?
Oh, God, yeah. It's wonderful. So you'll see that we are adding it at Whirlpool right at the end.
Yeah, exactly. So it is not even going to flood the back chambers until the very end.
Yep.
And then what's going on with the mandarina? Same story there?
Same thing.
Oh, it's also, so it basically is going to go nuts on this massive pile of grain.
Yep.
And then right at the very end, it's just going to dunk 2 ounces of crazy pants
exactly.
hops in there.
Now take a whiff.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that I've ever smelled anything like this.
This is you're going to get a lot of honeydew, strawberry. Coming off of that.
That must be. Yeah, I mean, give that a try. Like that does not have a hop profile smell. Like it's much because it isn't as sharp.
Yeah.
The middle of it is way bigger.
Yep, absolutely. Pretty cool.
Yeah, that's new. You know, it's rind.
Yeah, and that's going to add to the just being a juicy, hoppy.
Dude, and I have to say, I mean, I have had my share of hazies. I have never seen. First of all, I've never even had a beer that addressed this melon hop, let alone coming back, hitting it with the mandarina on the back.
Yeah.
This is going to be dumb.
Yeah. So the mandarina is taking the place of Pacifica.
Yeah. We have to switch it.
And which is
common.
Perfectly cool.
That can't be stressed enough.
Yeah.
That's a very, very normal thing, especially in industrial brewing.
Yes, and exactly, and this is why it's really great when you go to your local homebrew shop. Because I went down to Micro Homebrew today, and we're like, okay, we don't have Pacifica, but then Anthony and I were talking. We're like, okay, well let's do this. It's a similar characteristic. It's derived from Cascade. You're going to get the same fruity flavors, but more intensified fruit.
Yeah.
So it's everything we were looking for.
I would say this has a funkier, sockier.
A cold Medinier.
Yeah, exactly. But there's something a little socky in there. And I don't mean sake. I mean, like a sock. Yeah, that's another interesting one. Both of these smell more like actual fruit. Like you don't have to. It's like sometimes when you hit like sometimes when you go after a coffee and they're talking about flavor notes and you kind of have to like you have to extend them some credit on the description.
Yeah.
These actually smell.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
They smell completely different than any hops we've ever had on the show before, for sure. Okay. All right, coming back in.
Love
at
it.
the top. This is so much better.
I know.
Jesus.
So, Mr. Holkins, you have
moi.
smelled the delicious scents coming off of this cauldron.
Surprisingly good. Surprisingly good.
Right. You have interacted with the fruitiness and sockiness of the hops.
Honored the hop.
Sure. What else can I do to get you to join Acquisitions Incorporated today?
Oh, actually, here, no. So, know this. I mean, we've got an incredible.
Could I give you a signing bonus?
Oh, is it?
That's how much hops we're putting in for our dry hopping.
What the fuck? Okay, so this is all. So when you dry hop, obviously, remember, trying to give you what you own. So you're saying, after all this whole process, you hit it with these crazy fruity hops at the end, and then once it's in the tank, in the fermenter, you're gonna throw fucking
a pound of hops.
Jesus.
Into this.
Yeah, but not just a pound of hops, like a pound of like specialty premium hops. Oh man. Okay, so that's a substantially larger. So this is
This
the
makes
hop
it
bomb.
juicy. Yeah.
I was just gonna say.
This is what makes it a hazy IPA, not that crap. This.
Exactly. Well, this just touches on it at the end.
Yeah.
And then
look at that, guys.
And that's why our IBUs.
Yeah.
Even though it's in the continuum, that's why our IBUs aren't crazy pants.
Yeah.
Because it's all coming in at the end. It's mostly going to be about nose.
Right. And think about the flavors you smell when you open that up with the
1 ounce bag.
Yeah. Oof.
Oh man. Well, I was just going to say. I mean, obviously the signing bonus. I mean, in addition to everything else, the purpose of it. After the 10-year beer that we did before, which has super cool lore, the signing bonus really was initially designed to sort of contain the idea of the book, and so I can't think of any reason why we wouldn't
just put it in.
Just put that book in there, and really just wrap it up. You're gonna get a lot of flavors of wood.
Wood, yeah, of
inks,
papyrus,
and. Dude, that's exactly right. Papyrus, no, it's because it has to sound upmarket. It has to sound
douchey.
Yeah, exactly. Reed.
Yeah, exactly.
Matted reeds. Here, we're not going to leave it in there. It's like we occasionally discuss stunt beers on the show.
That would be the ultimate stunt. I'd pay for a book just to ruin it and put it in there. Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
let's see what the fuck happens.
It's an investment.
Yeah.
It comes out 2 minutes later. It's just
okay. Why is the beer black?
Yeah, exactly. Why is this happening? All right, so let me put that inside the device, and I see that it's checked over there.
Should be, yeah.
So we know that it is ready to go. All right. Do I have what it takes? Let's find out.
Good question.
All right, so Josh, you're saying this side, address the device from this side. Don't
full acid?
Yeah, don't offer an intimate look. Yeah.
Of the anus?
Yeah. Of the zone. Auto zone.
Dun-dun-dun-dun.
Okay.
So,
Yes, sir.
Let's see what happens. I mean, this is...
Well, I know great things are going to happen.
Yeah, well, I mean, only the best for us.
Oh, here, let me...
Whoa, are you prepping? Are you pre...
Well, no. I'm turning the device on, which I think is reasonable.
And some may question that.
Yeah, one rarely sees that in the finer houses.
Yeah.
What I think is fun...
What is this?
I don't need
wait a second. Was that a...
No.
Was that reinsert, Josh?
No, it was.
I feel like that was
premium-
kind of trying to hide it. And hey, look at
No. It's like this is what I've heard.
Well, yeah.
I have heard that it's vital, and you guys don't know this because you guys aren't on the fucking boards, but you have to tantalize the Z. That's there's a special section in the manual.
Wow, there's like this fog of bullshit rising out from underneath this.
Somehow rising, but also descending. Signing bonus it is.
Is it in there?
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
It happened. It really happened. Yes. Why don't you? Why don't you? All right. The instrument has been replaced. Now we're ready to go. All right. Well, now what's next?
I don't know. What else do we do in this show?
Well, we have a bunch of bottles.
Oh, yeah. We have
here.
a bunch of bottles. We have a ton.
We can. I'll just reach under here
Yeah.
where Clues, in her infinite wisdom, has placed a variety of tools.
This is like, you know what I love about this?
This is a pillow.
Yeah, it's a pillow, but I love getting candy in this size bag, like Swedish Fish, Skittles, and whatnot.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what this. Like, I want to like open it up.
Well, no, yeah. You want to put it in that craw zone.
Yeah.
But you know perfectly well.
No, you don't want to put it in that.
As soon as this is exposed to water,
Yeah.
it is going to explode. Like that fermenter is going to be mud.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
Right after you dump a pound of this shit in there.
It's gonna be the best.
No, it's going to be sick.
So we've had a lot of stuff
We
here.
have a lot. Let's choose a couple.
Yeah.
This time, let's not get too intimidated.
So what I found was, I just saw it. It was a farmhouse ale by Bambier.
Bambier. So what do we got here?
Read the notes. It sounds
Here, so this is
interesting.
from our friends at the Jolly Pumpkin. Ooh, ice cold.
Ice cold.
Bottle conditioned, you say? Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Well, and one can see it here. I wonder if you can catch it in the bottom. Here. Let's see if you can see when they say bottle conditioned. Let's see if you can tell what they mean by that. Can anyone see the chunks of process here? There you go. So when they say bottle conditioned, what they mean is that you get free slime.
Yeah.
And
no charge, extra. No extra
listen,
charge.
They do this for you.
Yeah.
Hey, Traken, you know what? Do we have... Oh, we have the beer glitter right there. So we may indeed.
Yeah, get a little crazy.
We may get a little crazy, absolutely. Now, so let's tap in. So
what really made me get it was the next was a dark farmhouse ale. I mean, how do you not pick that bottle up?
Yes, I was going to say
right?
also condition.
Like, come on.
Interesting. So what's the story here? So this is based on a true hound. It sounds.
Yeah. Listen to this. The delicious farmhouse ale is named for our Jack Russell, who was struck by a car, bounced back in fine, tenacious Jack Russell fashion, and is brewed for those of us who have been knocked down, picked up, dusted off, and carried on undaunted.
I want to support this brewery.
Fuck that.
I'm drawn in.
Is amazing.
I want to be a part of their story, their journey.
Golden, naturally cloudy.
So very farmhouse so far.
Bottle conditioned and dry hopped for the perfect balance of refreshing, spicy malts, hops, and yeast.
That is intriguing.
Yeah, I like it.
Well, to dry, typically the farmhouse is meant to be mild and ready to go. I'm not even sure I've ever had a dry hopped farmhouse. Well, here, let's fucking crack it in.
What's the?
Well, here, so the Bam Noir.
Yeah, what's the difference?
Based on the same creature. So these twin liquids. This is essentially they're engaged in much the same process we are, right? So one of Bam's brown eyes is in fact black. When mischief reigns supreme, it positively glows. So this is dedicated to the dark side, smooth, dark, incredibly delicious, as only a Jack Russell with bat wings can be. Interesting. So here, so let's hit this both sides. We'll try our first for the farmhouse.
The farmhouse.
So this is the Jolly Pumpkin.
Yeah.
Not familiar.
Yeah, out of Michigan.
Not familiar with this outfit.
That's good.
Do like a little here.
Yeah.
I'll come after this a little bit. Get that unique.
Whoa, you can smell the
That unique
yeast.
fluid?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, because it's in there.
Wow, that's farm. Yeah.
When they say bottle conditioned, I mean, essentially, it has been put in there, and some of its work has continued, essentially, in the base.
It's all getting carbonated inside the bottle, and you can actually tell if you look at how the carbonation is.
If you look at the head there, that's the natural carbonation at work.
Smells great.
And I have here, if you take a look at this, I have some of the...
some of the particulate?
Some of the dark agents of its manufacture here. If you like the occasional chunk in your beer, in your beverage.
Hey, sometimes people like to eat and drink at the same time.
Indeed.
And I'm not arguing it. Who are we to judge?
At the end of the day, it's about efficiency,
right? Right.
Ugh.
That's not your style.
Ugh.
I like it. Not his style, though.
Ah. Ah.
Yes.
Ah.
Here, have some more.
Yeah.
It's actually, unless you're him, it's a really fantastic farmhouse soured ale. Great saison.
I was going to say, so Samotep, was it secretly a sour? I mean, not so secretly.
No,
but farmhouse exists in a range that
exactly.
can be more malty as well, which I'm a fan of. Historically, I do.
Bam, beer! Yeah, agreed.
I am going to finish it. Yeah, exactly right. Eventually, I mean, I understand that whenever we get in here, it's like the... I definitely think the fault is mine. Like, I know that it's a style, and I know that I should be able to recognize it and address it, and ultimately figure out what's aesthetic about it. But man, woo!
Well, I mean, that's the cool thing about beer brewing and wine and anything like that is you're not going to like everything, but there are people that will. Like it's something you don't.
Okay, the second one was better. I think that I had a lot more chunk.
The chunk really mellowed it out.
No, I got your top pour, and that helped it a lot. But man, when you get the globule, it's pretty real.
Where are you going with this?
It's pretty real. Oh, Samotep, Godspeed. Here we go.
Ooh, great shot. Oh, even better.
Why the close-up?
It's fantastic.
I don't know why it's happening.
It's utterly wonderful.
I find that very troubling. Very troubling. All right.
Are you daring enough to try a dark farmhouse? Listen, just think of the Jack Russell Terrier who got hit by a fucking car. He'd drink the beer.
None of the jokes that naturally arise are going to leave my mind.
Yeah.
When I say put, I mean hide.
Yeah.
I'll hide it. Just hide it over there. I don't know if I'll ever be safe from it again. I'll be like driving home, I'll look in my rear view mirror.
And you'll see a dog with a fucking patch on his eye, staring at you.
Howling. Oh, Spidey Mark. I like Mike.
Yeah, this is not a Mike beer.
No, we bring Mike in to try stuff that might be novel.
Yeah.
We don't bring Mike in just to abuse him. Yeah, try the Bam Noir. All right, done with that. God, I try to be a good sport, but I am invariably punished for it.
No, Jeff is hanging out on a beach on vacation in Costa Rica right now. Can you believe that? What just abandoning the show and... Ooh. So, brace yourself. Deep breaths.
Well, no, it's like
after
you win like a sporting event, It's like the fruit you thank God and like you thank your mom.
Yeah.
It's like what I want to do whatever the opposite of that is. It's like I have a bad experience and I just want to curse the people who I think are responsible.
Do you want to try it?
Well, I want to celebrate with a drink.
Oh, okay. We have cider from Ghostly brought some cider in.
That's true. You got a cup?
Can somebody run and get a cup?
A crop?
A crop?
Well, here. So, if you're gonna come in though, we'll give you a couple.
You talking wine?
Well, we're talking about sours here.
You have a book in here?
Oh, yeah, actually.
Oh yeah. Hey, are we talking about wine? Whackada, smackada? No. Right now we're drinking farmhouse ales and
The hell is that?
being punished. Being punished as a result. Here. So first, Mike, before we get started, I just want to borrow your craw.
This is the one that you don't like.
Yeah.
I hate it. Yeah, it's one of the worst things I've ever had. It really is bad, and don't pay attention.
Hello.
Don't pay attention to any of the chunks that you might see in there. Just
Okay.
good smell, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Very good smell.
Yeah, like horse piss.
It doesn't taste bad.
Son of a
I think
bitch!
you're learning to appreciate beer. I think you've just been slowly getting inoculated.
You don't like that?
I can't stand it. No, it's my mortal enemy. In liquid form.
This tastes way better than anything that you guys have had me drink on here.
All right, now I want to try.
Okay. All right. Here. Let's.
Let
What
us
did-
proclaim
what-
the mystery of our
What don't you like about that? That tastes really mild.
Had
to
you
me.
been drinking a lot before you came in?
Man,
No, I have not.
this is not his style, but it's a
I don't
good,
even
it's a
make a
good
face
farmhouse.
when I drink it.
No.
It's a good farmhouse. So
It smells good.
Well, I agree that it smells good.
It's
Sake. Boot.
like a
do you get flavors of
tiny
shoe?
framboise. There's
Yeah.
like a tang on it.
Yeah.
It's not bad though. It's fine.
Yeah, it's got a little tang.
It's from
Yeah.
Wheato.
Yeah, it's like a beer soda.
That's so weird that you don't like
Oh
that.
God, there's something in the back of that
Yeah, so
that
this,
hates life.
This is what, a farmhouse? It tastes
Yeah.
like a
sour
How can
almost.
I
like
not
a sour
taste
heavy.
it?
Yeah,
I
exactly.
don't like it. This
That's
is. I
essentially
find
what
this.
it is.
I find this very troubling.
It's like it must be some kind of weird
It's just some like specific
taste bud
taste.
thing
Yeah.
that I don't.
Like
I can't
for-
register. Maybe.
You're drinking more and more.
Yeah, well,
I think you're just starting to like
Maybe.
beer.
From the front to the back,
Yeah.
like
to the
Window
windows,
to the wall.
wall.
to the wow.
Yeah. Let me
No.
try this cider.
Well, here the whole zone is
It tastes
is
like ball sweat.
the whole zone is trouble time. Hang on, I want to try this. The dark. Let's try the dark farmhouse, the Bam Noir.
Dude, I drank mead this weekend.
Did you?
On Father's Day, yeah.
I'm telling you, I think you're turning into a beer guy.
It was good.
No, Bam
This is how
Noir.
it starts.
Yeah.
Bam Noir is good.
You
That's
don't
really
like
good.
beer and you only drink liquor, then you'll like get to like sweet framboise.
Yeah.
And next
Here.
thing you know, in 6 months, you're gonna be drinking the hoppiest IPAs you can
Now
find.
try this is the dark version of the one that you
This is
just
the one
had.
you tried first?
No, that was the one that you just had is the one that I
Really?
I cannot tolerate
He
it.
doesn't do the sour.
I don't taste
Yeah.
anything that I would describe as sour in that.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
There's like effervescence for sure.
There's
There's a bubbliness to it.
Yeah, well, and that's
like
the
when
natural
I-
carbonation.
When I
a
drink
tart-
a normal beer, I like, I get that.
Well, yeah, so this type of beer. But what's funny is that, like, for me, it's the type of bitterness that comes from the yeast.
Well, that doesn't smell good.
yeah. This is bringing it back to that beer realm.
Just give it one sip.
Yeah,
It smells really bad.
that's more malty.
That's not a good taste.
That's amazing.
All right, maybe you're not a beer guy.
It's the opposite. No, it's exactly the opposite.
Yeah.
Like, this is fucking
That's not a good
crazy.
taste.
Well, here.
I'm
Let
kind of
me
mad at you now.
here.
try it.
Let me cleanse you.
Which one was it? Give me the.
Oh, I got what
the
you
hate.
I got what you
hate
need.
Beer.
The hate.
Yeah, here.
Talking
Ugh.
about the hate beer. No, I think this is A+. I love the I enjoy the Bam Noir, but woof.
Very caramely.
Yeah, so it has all the same notes, but then you add the more malt.
See, I think this is much more mild.
How do we feel about Sour Patch Kids? One of my favorite candies.
Yep.
You like Sour
See-
Patch Kids, Stuart?
Oh yeah.
You like sour stuff.
No, do you remember when
You like in high school, you fucked up your tongue.
Yeah.
What?
So you know how you could go and like, well, maybe you didn't know this because you didn't go to the same school, but when you
Wait, you didn't go to our school?
Son of a bitch, really?
You were there?
Well, that just changes my entire childhood. I didn't know.
it's like this. Here is some cider for you on this, the day of our daughter's wedding.
Cheers.
So no. So you can get like snacks. There's like a snacks place,
lot of
and you can
schools
go
do
in.
that,
I
there.
don't think schools do that now. Like, when we were in high school, there was a candy store.
Yeah, we had that too. Yeah.
There was a
like,
candy store.
They all do that.
Do
That's
they?
a lot of cider.
You'll be okay.
You can handle it.
Yeah. So, but you could also
Wow,
get.
that's really good.
Well, yeah. This is apparently it's a clementine. See, this is why. It's a clementine cider.
Whoa.
Name my daughter after.
I know.
That's
After the cider.
fantastic.
He did not lick a metal pole.
No, I did not like the metal pole. But no.
9-volt battery.
I wish that I had. It would have been better.
Yeah.
No. So you know how there's those sour warheads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they were.
You like the lemon?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
two
So they were
flavors,
like
right?
they were like 25 cents a piece, and I would like eat them 8 at a time. And just I had to do whatever. I had to have as much sugar as possible just to fucking get through the day. School was not good for me.
This is your cocaine?
Yeah, basically. But I destroyed, like, the top layer of my tongue, like, at some point after this ritual had been iterated several times, I could feel something loose on my tongue,
So a layer?
like against the roof of my mouth. Something was loose. So there's my tongue and there was the roof, and then there was something else that had a different polarity. And when I went into the bathroom, the entire tongue, like from the back to the tip, was just a white carpet of savaged flesh. And then, but it was like loose on a corner. Like it was loose the way that it was loose the way that like there's that
slot
little
machine is-
No. It was loose the way that like the film at the end of a large LCD television was loose.
It was begging to be removed.
Loose in a
Did
way
you just
that was ineluctable. And so I reached back inside my mouth and I took hold of those loose folds.
Bye, everybody.
yeah, this has been.
And then
real.
I pulled
I'm
it,
coming with you. This is, God damn, what the?
just like pulling the sheet back on a bed. It's all the way down until my tongue's freshest layer was revealed. It was like a baby's tongue.
You just cleared the room.
Yeah. That's my book.
That's my book. Don't fucking get anything on it.
Yeah.
No, I like it. Well, see, now we have like 2 pillars of the brand. That's pure magic.
The clementine in that is fantastic.
This is the Two-Town Cider House. That's
I'm
A+.
so freaking out about
Well,
your
Alyssa,
damn tongue.
Are you here for me or for Josh?
I'm here to try the cider.
Come on in.
Yeah?
Gathered throng, precious channel. It is my great pleasure to introduce Alyssa Grant.
Hello.
No, this is a perfectly good side. Oh, but we also have a Dora. Wow, what a treat! Here, so you just came for alcohol? Is that?
Yeah, I did. I heard cider.
You just came
was
for the
mentioned.
booze?
Yeah.
This is Ryan's copy, right?
No.
That's Ryan's copy.
Okay, so I have to take that.
You have to
and I-
damage it
Yes.
in some way.
Yeah, that's
Throw it
right.
up. Also, this bar.
You told me it was his copy too, and I was
pretty
like, so
dope,
I'll be
huh?
grabbing that. It's mine.
It's pretty dope. Here. No,
We'll
so,
just share it. You take one half, I'll take the other
Yeah,
half.
we'll just rip it in half.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
so this is the Clementine cider from.
Oh, clementine.
Oh yeah. Get a load of this from Two Towns.
You know I'm in.
Two Towns.
Cheers, cheers.
Oh my god,
That's great.
So
That is one of
good.
the best. That's one of the best ciders I've ever had in my life.
It's not
It's
too
so
sweet.
crisp. Yes.
Yeah.
No, it still is a little bit dry, but it has the right amount of juice. So
It's almost like wine.
Indeed, wang,
That's a good question.
wang.
Some, I would like
Yeah.
some wine.
Whack.
No, citrusy summertime cider. Oh, see, that's it. Made with clementines and passion fruit. So that's
so good.
that little outro, that little tangy outros from the passion
Yeah,
fruit.
our friend Asmati said, now you have to just get everybody out of here by telling them a scary story.
Oh yeah. So
That just
once I did
horrifies
something
them.
really gross to my tongue. I don't know if we could go into it or not.
Keep going.
I'm
No,
actually in.
it's fine.
We're both in.
Yeah.
100% go on.
All right. No,
Lisa.
no, it's good. It's good. Oh, here. Is Gav back there?
Yes,
Oh yeah,
I
she
was
would.
actually.
Yeah, I would like that.
Okay.
That's
you.
that's Gav material
Thank you very
right
much.
right there. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, Orion Rogue, 100%. I completely agree.
I get the
I didn't enjoy it happening to me either. So, yeah, upon this topic, perhaps we may find unity. Staghorn, thank you so much. Yeah, that's A+. Two-Town Cider House. Yeah, I don't think that's optional. If you see that at your corner store,
Get it.
you got to get a little bit.
Get.
You do. Now, so the device has begun its operation.
Do we want to open the Elysian Glitter Pride Ale?
I feel like
Or do you
after
wanna
the
wait?
cider and after the 2 beers, I feel like we should save Glitter Pride.
Yeah, let's do it next week.
Next week, it'll still be Pride. And we can try it with and without. So, I mean, if the glitter beer had glitter in it, we would open it. But it's only called glitter. But we're going to do it correctly next
Elysian.
week. We're going to add the brew glitter, and we're going to do it correct. We're going to come correct, as they say. What dis? What
I don't know.
dis?
I wasn't the one who almost opened it.
Oh, well, I actually recognize this name. Cameron does the special pens.
Ooh.
Oh, so this is for, let's see, Ryan Hartman. Oh,
Joshua.
Mike Krahulik. Oh, these are new pens?
Whoa. That's a Dark Magic brand. That's awesome.
Oh, look at this here. So this is Eric. Oh, I can't open this. Take a look. And there's a note inside?
Whoa. Teak with copper accents. That's amazing. Teakwood is fantastic. Acquisitions Intoxicated has got me back into brewing and making mead.
And
Fuck
making
yeah.
mead. Well, yeah, mead's the
Whoa,
classic one. Here.
look at that.
Hey, so Penny Arcade team, I hope this package finds its way to you intact. I felt bad leaving out Josh, EJB, and Gabe with the last batch of pencils I sent to
Oh,
folks
it's a pencil. It's even better because it's a pencil.
for RP, right? On the C team. I also had a pen for Ryan to help slake his thirst. Oh, God, he'll be overjoyed. Although that seems gratuitous in the face of what Clues put together for y'all. All are loved. Mostly want to thank everyone at Penny Arcade for the signal boost about the charity sale and running for Child's
Sorry,
Play.
opponent, I'm putting it right in my fucking mouth.
In that craw zone, I've raised nearly $500 of this writing and have extended the timeline to the end of June. Molpy. So this is etsy.com/shop/Cambear Creations, CAMBEAR Creations, one word. And they're operating a kind of, they're making pens, custom pens for people, and raising money for Child's Play at the same
That's
time.
awesome.
But if I scared Mike away, but we should at least see what.
Not line them up so we can do the overhead.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah, so it's awesome. So
Oh,
another
my
dumb hobby of mine. I
goodness.
used to make pens, and it's super
Really?
fun. Yeah, it's relaxing. You get a little lathe. But what's really cool is to make this shine. It's actually essentially what's on the top of the table.
A lacquer?
A lacquer, and you sand it down.
Oh, once you got your shape,
Yeah, it's really cool.
how many layers do you have to do to get it this smooth?
Depends on that.
On the grain, probably.
No, it actually depends on which product you're using because there's a couple different
Oh,
kinds.
sure.
Some only require one, some want a couple.
Oh, look, dude, this is
Yeah, these
this
are
is pretty tight. So
amazing.
this is the gym one with the purple heart with black accents.
great.
You can't beat that. But he didn't even mention this. It's actually a Josh Price pen in here.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Take a look at this. Granadillo Mexican rosewood. That is a lovely.
Very cool.
I would say the color is cool, but I think the main thing with that one is the grain. And so Ryan, even when we opened them, Ryan was fantasizing about a pen. Let's see what they hooked up for him.
Oh, that's a wonderful color.
Oh, goodness gracious. Smooth action on that
Yeah.
pen.
That's fantastic.
But what it make from? Spalted maple with black accents.
Yeah, these are beautiful.
Pretty cool.
Absolutely beautiful.
Very cool present. We'll put back in bag. All right, so we have labors to accomplish,
Do we?
my friend. Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
The Art and Science of Brewing. Did you not hear the fucking intro? Here, let me set these products over her. All right. Heading back over to the Twitch poll overlay. So, last time we did our best to honor the book and its precious launch. Where are we going to today, theme-wise?
I don't know. The world's our oyster.
I was just gonna say, let's toss this content out to the Chanel. So what do we think we should do? Now, I mean, because we have endeavored to operate this in a way that is at least similar to having a plan. We did our book launch beer last week, and it is even now brewing in the device. So another theme would be good. Another theme would be good. July 4th, we'd have to have, it has to have a fantasy.
It has to be somewhere in the realm of D&D. Oh.
Now, Hexblade Warlock, now you're talking. Absolutely. Nothing would bring me more pleasure. You're looking for Cambear Creations, Cambear Creations, one word, and it's just an Etsy shop. And it sounds like they're extending the the charitable portion of it for a while. Yeah, gosh, do we want to? Stag, summer is not over for sure. We can definitely grab some more. We can definitely hook up something like that. We've done it in the past. Our problem is that we made a Rodler where the beer was too good.
Right.
It's like you add the lemonade to an okay beer, and now you're in a great spot. But the beer we made for the Rodler was too fucking good. What a weird problem.
I mean, it's a beautiful problem to have.
Right? Yeah.
I think the Hexblade is really cool
we can
idea.
make this beer as a gift for Chris Ginger.
Yeah.
I think that would work fine. So
what does that look like as a...
his Hexblade is like Foremother.
Right,
So
no. But I mean, like, what does... Let's talk about the... let's talk about the lore and what composes the Hexblade, and that could kind of help determine the style.
Well, first off, let's see if Hexblade actually ends up being the winner here. Midsummer Festival, something like they might drink in Waterdeep. Okay, so like a summer party.
Oh, that's kind of nice. Yeah.
Yeah, summer party beer, like in the finer houses. It sounds like
Dark Summer Nights.
Summer Nights. Avernus, obviously a classic. I think it's something in the red ale maybe context.
Yeah, a little spice to it.
I think it goes on with Cornerstones, maybe a little bit later in the summer. Cornerstones very much a Verdun
autumnal
could
thing.
be interesting.
The High Water Life. It's like the Michelob of Waterdeep.
Yeah. Tongue peeler? No one wants that.
Nobody wants that.
Yeah. So we'll do Hexblade or Verdun. Throw that up there.
Okay.
See what you got. But while we do that, we can hit some of these. Man, so now that it's been in the boil for a good half hour or so, now it's before it was mostly that sort of like grain, just like that sort of cereal thing. Now that it's getting into the carapils, it's starting to smell really good. Hey, Seabread says, do you use any sort of jig or stand when bottling to prevent spillage drippage? You can hit him with this.
You can if you want. Usually I just use other bottles. I'll line up bottles, 10 by 10 by 10, and then I have a beer gun that I use, and you go right down the line.
And it voids the bottles too, right?
Yeah, it's called counter pressure filling. So it voids the bottle of all oxygen. You then push a button that fills it with CO2, and then you put the beer in, cap it, and you're all set to go.
Nice. S.A. Wells says, any idea when the book reaches the UK? I'm feeling intense tome envy and I want my book. I would suggest that you hit up merch at penny-arcade.com for any questions about that. Seabread to see, when working with chocolate or carob, do you have to use nibs or could you use powder or fresh ground cacao? I would not use a powder.
You can use powder.
In what context? Would you sterilize it and bag it?
Well, you could throw it into the boil if you wanted.
I guess.
I mean, there's a lot of ways you can do it. I like using nibs the most.
Yeah, my concern with ground or powdered would just be surface contact. Like, I think that you're going to get more than you wanted probably if you're using powders. Yep. I think the reason we like nibs, I think, is because first of all they have the good toasted flavor. Exactly. I would say that it's a little bit of a different taste from the full powder.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I like to think of it as not like the powder would be like a chocolate milk or chocolate.
Quick.
Yeah, quick. Yeah. Exactly. Where the nibs give you a more roasty chocolate.
Yes, which of course, I mean, roasty comes up a lot on this show. Let's see. From Going Optimal. Hey, Jerry, when's the community coffee brewing show? I mean, certainly we can
do it.
Yeah, we can. I mean, I can bring that.
I mean, we could do it as one episode. Yeah.
I mean, I can bring that hideous box in here. I mean, the issue would be ventilation. We would have to bore a hole in the wall
Well, actually, I have the smaller one, the Fresh Start that I could bring in.
Oh, you have? Oh, that's right. Because
Remember I started on the
you
Fresh Start?
hobbied, as
before we got
much
into-
as I did.
yeah.
Yeah. It was the fresh roast, something like that.
Yeah, the little, it's like this one. I can
Which
bring that
one?
in.
Which one was it?
It was that Fresh Roast 800. It was a step up because you could adjust the temperature, time. and-
So it has like the base cylinder, and then the roasting chamber, and then that sort of like chaff filter.
Yeah, the chaff on top, so you can empty all the chaff after it shoots out.
Wow,
That's fantastic.
Hella votes in there today, but they want the hex blades, so we're gonna give it to them. Now, so let's try to figure out what it would mean on the hex blades on the hex blades side.
I agree.
So, what's that? Hex gonna give it to him? Are you for fucking real?
Fuck yeah.
You're pushing it. No, it was exquisite, as you know. So we should try to figure out so that Cthulhu has made a career change, same class.
Underdog, we are not bringing Hexy back, you son of a...
But essentially, where Cthulhu is at, in their career right now is they've moved away from a lot of this earlier stuff, this strange Eldritch type horse shit, and it's moved into something a little more aggressive.
Triple Hex rated? These are actually great names.
Great Hexpectations. Here, don't listen.
I'm too hexy for my shirt.
Listen. You're shooting your shot. You got.
Hex
Write
on
all
the
these-
beach? Yeah.
Write all these down.
Holy shit.
This is not the time.
never
Orion,
gonna
thank
hex
you so
again.
much. Orion, thank you so much for fixing this. They need parental guidance
Hexcalibur?
in this channel.
Hex appeal?
Oh, Hexcalibur. All right, now I'm starting to get into it.
right?
No,
Right?
Be cool.
That's what pulled him back. He's like, yeah, I got fucking ones for days.
Hex appeal. Beasts.
Sexual healing? Yeah.
All right. Anyway, what we're talking about though is a hex blade.
What to hexpect when you're hexpecting?
Who did this? Cadmus? Lifetime ban.
Fucking great.
Get. Don't do that. So, Josh might do it now. I don't know. I don't control Josh. Josh is like a wild animal. So here's the takeaway. We're talking about a blade.
Hex marks the spot.
The polarity of said blade
I'm just gonna fucking
is
ruin
that
this whole thing.
it was great. That's fine. Do exactly as you like at every juncture. So I've been well served thus far.
Yeah.
So the key is that this is a hex blade of Malith in the ancient tongue Ma'alit, who is essentially sent as a kind of Reaper style character. So this is a goddess of nature, but her polarity is that of fall meeting winter.
Exactly.
So this is not. She represents the natural world, but it's not the type of.
But the natural world's brutal.
Yes,
I mean, that's what you have to remember.
She represents that part of it.
Yeah.
She represents the part of the natural world that focuses on reclamation of resources. So that's what we're talking about in terms of our theme. So knowing that, what would be some cool choices that we can put out in terms of a hex blade, in terms of like a style, style type vibe? I mean, obviously you can go dark. If we're talking about that dark of the woods sort of,
Right, but for
right,
some
that
reason,
late night.
I always get it yes.
Yeah.
Has Chris drawn it yet? I'm sure he has, right?
No. I mean, we're mostly talking about the pact here. The blade itself is not too dissimilar from walnuts. It isn't too dissimilar from
Yeah, well,
walnut.
I'm thinking of what are the colors? Is the blade red?
The blade right now is green, but don't tell anybody.
Well, way to fucking spoil it.
May not always be green.
Yeah, I know.
Just saying. Right? And so what might be interesting styles in there? Because if you go into green beer, I mean, you're moving into a very St. Patrick's Day continuum. It's a very dangerous realm. You know what I mean? It's to be avoided.
So if we're looking at...
Yeah, I mean...
What would put a Cthulhu spin on this type of...
Yeah, I mean, the Cthulhu spin, I mean, to my mind, maybe at the yeast tier, like that. it's more about lensing or interpreting the ingredients, right? Like the strangeness, I think, can always come at the back. In terms of the style, though, we're essentially, the way I described it is like a cult eco-terrorist librarian.
So this is one of my favorite beers on the planet.
yeah,
is a Munich Dunkel.
It has been a favorite of the globe,
Yeah,
right?
and for good reason. It is. This kind of actually fits in. It is healing and both healing and destructive.
Nourish.
Yeah. This is bready, toasty, chocolatey. You can also get, so that's going to be your
Support.
The roasted characteristics is going to bring you to the ash. And then it's going to come back and flourish again with the grape notes that you can get into this type of beer. I think my favorite one is Warsteiner Dunkel.
Well, and not just you. I mean, that's a legendary beer.
Yeah.
So the Munich Dunkel,
Yeah,
easy
that
call.
is.
Easy call. And it's going to be rich and dark. When I was there, I mean, obviously that was 2003. I don't know if this is outre now. I mean, it may have been outre even when it was happening. Or it might be something they exclusively offer to Americans. But they called it Duco, which was just like a Rodler, but it was half Dunkel, half Coke.
Really? I mean, listen.
It was so good.
Here's the thing. After the glitter beer stuff, nothing's out of the fucking.
Everything once. No,
Yeah, everything gets tried.
But all you have to do is think about the rich, the sweet, fizzy caramel of the Dunkel.
Yeah.
And the caramel cola, and you can kind of get it. Like it kind of makes. There's an interesting overlap. Like there's a part of the Venn diagram in the center that represents joy. Right. Something to consider. So we got to.
I'd like to. I want to try it.
No, it's gonna be dark, rich, and sweet, like a sap.
I actually like Staghorn put up a good one on Imperial.
Imperial Red.
Red.
Yeah. So what would be the good tones for that?
You're going to get incredibly malty flavors.
Massive. The red is going to be the massive malt bomb.
Massive
right?
malts. Excuse me. Yeah.
But the Imperial is going to be about the ABV,
ABV.
right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
But it's the ABV matched against the malt body, right? So it is the equal of it as it rises in ABV.
Essentially, you have to balance that beer out with good and evil, because if it's too malty and you don't balance it out with some hops, it's just going to be overpowering.
Yeah. See, both of these are about balance. This is. I think we're on our way to another Akin classic here. So take a look at that. We will feast on some Q. Here we go. Blaine Clerk, do you recall Mordenkainen's Black Blade of Disaster from the old editions? Of course. Dark is the appropriate color for reapings. It's the brand. It's the brand. Dayton Calendar wants to know if we're thinking about how Ack Inc. is going to operate in Eberron, since a new Eberron book was announced and is coming during the descent. I mean, even we just put out a book with them. I didn't even know there was an Eberron book. That's very compartmentalized internally there. Eberron being a place of sort of strange urban fantasy is a pretty natural home for AI, I think.
Damn steampunk bastard.
Yeah. Lightning rail.
Yeah.
But the coolest thing about Eberron, I thought, was like this costume trunk of
absolutely.
weirdo new races.
Yeah, exactly.
Like there is some really, really weird shit going on in Eberron for real. Blind Kirk, is it weird and also awesome that paper is made of wood and then your pencils are also made of wood? I'm down. I can feel that. Staghorn says, hey, speaking of Child's Play reminded me, would you ever consider tipping the cauldron on stage if enough money was raised for Child's Play during one PAX? That's a really interesting idea. God, you could do the cauldron.
Why not? What's the difference? You just have the stream is up.
No, it is exactly the same. You could do the cauldron. You could set the cauldron up so that it has its own sort of tipping point. Basically, it would mirror what we do with the Create a Strip.
Yeah.
Right? That's not crazy at all. I'll talk to Alyssa about that. Seabread, have you ever made a beer cocktail like a Radler or a Shandy? We have indeed. We made a Radler or a Rodler, but the beer itself was great and it was preferable by itself to being with the lemonade. which is a credit to the channel, obviously. They want the big red.
That's cool. It'll get right to you.
Juice so soft.
Goes right to you.
Lego Dash, can we get more details on the delicious clementine cider? Absolutely. I think the grace note with that, so it's 2 towns? I think it's 2 towns cider, yeah. The grace note with that clementine cider, I think, was the addition of the passion fruit, which has sort of a juicy, it's like a juicy tartness, but that keeps it from being cloying. It keeps the cider and the orange cider essentially from being too cloying and poppy, and sort of keeps it crisp and fresh. So it's a really, really solid stuff. Yeah. Oh, hey, Pearl Chaser wants to know, where does the beer go when it's done in the pico? So the very final stage of the brew process is basically the drain. So it's a full pumped drain from the pico device into. So if you've ever worked in a restaurant, you'll know the term corny keg. Basically, those big tanks that they have under that, where all the soda syrup and stuff like that comes from. So that's the draw, right? So if you have that set up, if you sort of get that idea, because you've seen a bunch of those, corny kegs like that are actually how you brew with the pico. Essentially, that corny keg, that soda tank, is used as the external brew kettle. And so the entire brew gets dumped into there. You pitch your yeast right in there. And then it actually does the fermentation inside there. There's a special kind of lid that you put on the corny keg. So that's part of the system, is a rubberized sort of lid that goes over. You put your bubbler on top of that to protect the wort while it's processing. And then ultimately you rack the beer off of that and store that externally until it's ready to be carbonated. But the very last stage is basically a pump out into the corny, and then most of it happens in there. Now, cleaning the corny after that, as Ghostly and Jackal will tell you, is novel. Because
that's a good word for it. Novel.
The process.
That's nice.
Yeah. Because what happens when beer is fermenting is that it's often creating. Krausen is the term, right?
No, a Krausen is on top. Krausen, trub is the term.
Oh, yeah.
That's all of the waste from the yeast
down
on
the bottom.
Krausen is the yeast acting eating on the surface, and making this foam that arises.
Yeah, and so that foam is sticky, and then it coats the inside, and then the trub is on the bottom. So you're drawing the beer out, putting it somewhere else so it's not resting on that, and then you have to go HAM on the inside of that. I mean, luckily there's some pretty hardcore products that can do that.
Listen, Ninja. Ghostly and Jackal Man signed up to be assistant brewers. You gotta cut your, teeth somewhere, and we all do it.
It is a legitimately cool skill.
Yeah.
And my suspicion is that they will be well served.
And
by
we
it.
haven't even dunked them into a vat of beer yet. That's a tradition
Not
too.
yet. It's a classic. It's going to go
happen.
up, and then it's going to come down. Right here. So now that we have our imperial, now we got to get our stats, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So tell me what you wanna do.
There ain't nowhere to hide.
With this ABV.
Yep. Let me pull up my notepad. Tomboy. Guess I use Linux. I don't know if you knew that.
No, Stag, we're not hiring brewers. Jack and Ghostly were kind enough to assist in the brewing process.
Let's see, ABV, SRM, and IBU. So in terms of ABV, because it's an imperial, because it's a substantial product, what is the typical range of an imperial red?
You can, anywhere, with an
up to us,
imperial,
I guess,
it's subjective, but I would say anywhere from 6 to 9.
Yeah. We'll do 6, 7.5. Yeah. So essentially, this is what we're balancing against here.
So what does this look like if this is the hex blade?
Yeah. So in terms of the range, I mean, because we're not talking about color yet, and we're not talking about bitterness.
No. How
We're
would
talking about the
Strength.
actual.
About-
This is almost like the edge.
yeah
I think this is the edge.
of the blade? How is it tempered?
Yeah, exactly. Right? Because
I like that.
ultimately the rest of this is going to have to be balanced. I think they're looking for something malevolent, and I think that's why so many votes are being accrued for 9. Because either way, it's like at the lower point, we're talking about deft skill with the blade.
Def punk skill.
Yeah, exactly. Homework. It's a great album. I
think we're good there.
I hear you. It's 9. I mean, it's 9.
Single around the multiverse.
What's that?
They hit single around the multiverse.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
Yeah. So ABV at 9. The CERM. So this is going to be interesting because obviously we're talking about a red ale, but we'll show you what that means in terms of the SRM.
Once it comes up on the screen. There we go.
All right. So take a look at this.
So what do you want to go with?
I was going to say,
really?
so reds, yes. Like, what do we mean by red, I guess?
Yep.
And it can be in a darker range if we want to.
If we want to, but I think. So let's talk about the blade and what we.
Yeah, exactly.
What does the color represent?
Exactly. So now we're
the
talking
color of the physical blade, the
Yeah.
color of the
exactly.
handle,
yeah,
the
I mean,
cross handle.
Yeah,
the
now we're
tang.
talking about now we're talking about tempering, I think, right? So the edge is going to be the ABV. Now we're talking about sort of the like the metal of it. Is it deft or is it heavy, right? So we're definitely not even considering starting at the top row.
No, I don't think so. I think we go.
I think we might give them a 17.
Yeah, and then go from there. Maybe.
Yeah.
Like a 24.
Yeah, let's do 17, 24, and 28.
28, yeah. Because once you get to that 28, that's where it really starts to get dark.
Yeah, and then we're not really doing what we set out to do anymore. It's got to exist in that multi range. But you can see it's like when we look at it on the LCD, it's one thing, but when we look at it up there,
It's a whole different.
there's a piece there. I mean, in between that sort of 17 and 27.
Yeah, totally.
There's a place. But I mean, it's the classic thing, right? It's like if you try to make a character who actually has red hair in a
Yeah.
game, they don't offer it to you.
yeah, right. It's just a slightly off color that's like
It's
so
not-
upsetting.
Yeah, it's like there is no one in my family that doesn't have red hair. And
Fuck, I know what
Yeah,
red hair
yeah,
looks
I've
like.
seen it.
This is not that shit.
I've seen it. Interesting. So they want it here. They want it right here in this 24
Oh, yeah,
level.
okay.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's a good. Honestly, I think that's a really cool
Yeah,
choice.
no, it's going to be a beautiful color. I mean, you'll be able to see straight through it in the glass. And it basically, but again, it's back in this balance thing, right? So far, that's what we're presenting. Is something that exists, something that has a high utility. It's broad in its application. No, see, that's what they want.
Yeah, I say go with 24.
Yeah. Yeah, Scary Crazy Stick. 24 is a natural 20 plus max guidance, right?
Nice.
I like it. Oh man, that tank is starting to smell
Pretty
GUD.
good. So bitterness. How do we want to do IBUs
Yeah,
on this? Typically, you're looking at. So this isn't going to be an imperial. So
So we're talking about winter. All right.
Exactly.
So here's our range. We're talking
remember,
about
we're also going to have a high ABV on
fall.
this.
Exactly. We're talking about from late, like from fall. So basically, it's like the point. So in the game, Brahma's wedding dress is described as the moment that fall becomes winter, right? So, but in that moment, we have a range on both sides of it, right? So which side of that are we on in terms of the bitterness, right? Bitter
Right.
cold is
Right.
a piece of terminology, at least in English.
Right.
So what should we do with that? So it's like we have just on either side of that. So in terms of that range, in terms of IBU, because it's an
imperial.
but it's an ale. It's not
Right.
right. It's not an IPA.
Right.
So we still have a little bit of room to play. We're not trying to go
Exactly.
super far north. With
No,
this, right?
but also remember we have 9% worth of malt to deal with.
To counter it.
Because this is
Yeah.
there's a
yeah,
lot to this.
Exactly.
So let's take a range between, I would say 25 all the way up to 45. And the higher end is going to, balance out, this blade. This is
Yeah.
when you put the blade on your finger, and if you can balance the blade on the
Exactly.
tip of your finger,
Yeah. So
it's perfectly balanced.
that's 35.
Yeah.
45 is the blade in its sheath. 35 is the perfectly balanced blade, and 25 is like it's like the part in Kenshin, like in a Kenshin show where the thumb has just pushed the blade out of the scabbard. So those are our three choices. But yeah, their balance obsession knows no bounds. That's what I've derived. If you're going to have an obsession, you might as well have. That's probably a pretty good one. But take a look at the color. I mean, so it's already been through this process a fair bit.
I mean, remember, this is a light colored beer.
No, definitely. I'm saying that for what we've been doing recently, typically you can see that derivation there, but this is going to be a perfect canvas essentially for the haze.
I know.
Right?
It's going to be great. Once all of this nonsense gets added.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's going to be bonkers because it's not going to confer that much color. It's going to
No.
be mostly the oils that come out. But if you take a look at that, like in that glass, it's going to be like a milkshake or something. Like the look of it is going to be really, really good, I think.
I like it. I'm excited.
I can't wait. That's going to be
mean,
startling.
well,
It's
it's-
going to have that like canned white grapefruit juice.
Yes,
type look.
exactly. And what's so fun is this was actually the first hazy and real
Yeah.
super hoppy
real.
IPA we've done.
No, exactly.
So,
and basically, those are going to go right into the fermenter.
Yeah.
And how long do they rest in there?
Until you think it tastes good.
Oh, so you thief out a little
Yeah,
bit,
you
thief
thief
out
out-
a
you
sample,
thief out
and
a
be like,
little
all
bit.
right, we're in a good spot.
Because what we're going to do is you got about 7 days of primary fermentation. Once it hits the secondary, that's where we're going to throw this in.
Oh, so once it's actually pulled off
Yep.
into the secondary tank.
Yep. And then we just taste it and see when we think it's right. But
30,
it's usually at least another 2 to 3 weeks in secondary.
so lots of rest on there. Okay, IBU 35.
Cool. Okay.
You want the balance. Right, so we have our exquisitely balanced fall meeting winter blade thus far. So now how do we hit them?
So we're going to come in with our base malt, and I'm going to give you 2 choices for base malts on this. Because it's an Irish red, one is going to be Golden Promise. I love Golden Promise because it's still a pale malt, still very close to 2-row.
But it still has character.
Yeah,
Right?
right. It's not just I'm going to sit in the corner. It's sweet, and it's going to be much, much sweeter than your standard 2-row. The next is going to be our old friend Maris Otter. This is going to give us
Pretty bold for a base.
Yeah, but well, yes and no. But with a red, you want
That's
it
going
to
to be most of your richness in
you
color.
want it to be biscuity
Yep.
and toffee and flavors like that. So we can eat. So when we look at this and we look at Hexblade with the Golden Promise, that is, I would say the Golden Promise is more making the blade glitter, where
Yeah. It's the
Maris
flash.
Otter- yeah.
It's the flash or the strike, right? Give that a try. See what you think about that. I'm just gonna read this book based on my campaign that I made. First official third-party Dungeons and Dragons book. Documenters at rank 2 gain an ability called Fluent and Boss, which is nice. There's a lot of crazy tables in here. Oh, nice. Class-based. It's a very big book, and I read all of it at one point or another, but I do not remember this table at all. There's a whole table based on what your living loot satchel for a hordes person looks like based on your class, which is pretty sweet. All right. I am really, really intrigued by this. They have actually chosen for the flash of the blade, like the display.
I like it.
Yeah, that's killer. A genuinely surprising a result, as they say. Yeah, so they want that golden promise.
Yeah, I think that's great. So what we can do, we have the. Do we want to make this? So when we look at this, do we want to make this more roasty in character or more caramel in character?
Yeah, so we're in the. Yeah, a little bit more heat.
Yeah. What does that mean?
Yeah.
For this blade, right?
Exactly. So let's take a look here. So this is going to be our supplemental bonus malt. The first. So for the roasty one, what's that option? That's a range, isn't it?
Yeah.
Here. So let's drill further into that.
Yeah.
So roasty. That's going to be more of your campfire camaraderie. And caramel. Yeah, how do you theme caramel in this? Because as the secondary grain here, because the base is going to be the golden promise.
Well, it's sugar.
It's going to work either way.
It's sugar. It's almost. It could almost be the healing portion of this blade,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Rest. Right? There you go. Give one of those a try. So we're basically building a psychological profile
Of a beer
of a beer
based on a D&D.
based on it. Yeah, we get up some shit.
It's getting real.
We get up some shit. Let's see, Brianish, Jerry, did you back down on calling occultant's tool an occultant? Well, here, I will pull that section up right now. There's a lot of art from Chris here in the middle, too. Let's see, obviator. There's so much crazy shit in here. Yeah, so we use the term head office grants you the use of a toolkit for your chosen proficiency, a merchant scale, 5 waterproof belt pouches in which to store creature parts or other tools, and a unique item known as an occultant abacus, sometimes just referred to as an occultant, whose beads resemble tiny skulls. Just to help, because I mean, we know we're getting into some weird shit, and we wanted to give people an opportunity to try to invite people into it. Now that they know what it's truly called, they can use that if they want to, but if you've never heard of it before, it might actually really help to have that second part of it there.
So it looks like they're going for the roasty.
They are. They want that group. They want that support.
So with this, we're gonna think of this 2 ways. Either we're gonna go with roasted barley or black malt. So the roasted barley is going to give us a much more roasted, bready taste.
Yeah.
Where the black malt is going to give us roasted chocolate.
Yeah. Sort of bready is like a wholesome bready taste, like a good. It's like when I stuff my head in the bag, right? It's like a taste that means you're gonna get through. Is what that when you stuff your head in that it's a sack.
Like life is good.
No,
Whatever happens to you today, just remember this sack.
You will live until tomorrow, is what it means. So that's the roasted barley, roast flavored, the wholesome sort of bready taste, but black malt, serious business. Black malt is
Does not fuck around. You don't need a lot of it, but it
you
gives
only
you
use a small amount.
Yeah, it's think about like forging a Japanese sword. There is the small amount of tempered steel that gets folded.
A lot.
Tens of times, and then because of the folding, it's thousands of folds.
So the black malt, that's more of like that kind of roast is a coffee or chocolate style flavor, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, it really has to do with the richness that you're getting in there. Are you looking for something a little bit more stark? That's black malt, right? Something that has a little bit more, because it's serious business. It will It gets on your fingers if you touch it, right? Whereas the roasted barley, that may be of a piece with the campfire aspects. Right. That is support.
Yes.
Caloric support for today's warrior. But Brianish, no, I never would have. People definitely tried to make me not call it an occultant, and no. That's what it's called. So we got that here. Fancy Death Trap was the tongue destruction story payback for Grainal fissures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
I mean, are we even?
I'm okay with that. I don't think we're even yet. We still got a lot of
Are we even?
work to do on that Grainal fissure.
Yeah, exactly. And now the truth is that the entire Grainal fissure, like that act of grainomancy,
Yeah.
where you can derive the facts about the future.
It's like the dark world.
Yeah, it's like kind of flips.
Yeah.
No, something in the C or in the Z, something totally crazy happens.
Oh, yeah.
Where depending on the grain bill,
The Grainal rift.
yeah, exactly. It goes in the middle, and then there's wort on either side of it, but honestly, is probably better for the.
Yeah.
It's probably better
More
for
surface
extraction,
area, yeah.
right? Man, they're looking for a little bit of that black malt. Yeah, see, that black malt. Now you're moving.
I
into,
like that. That's
you're
great.
moving into winter. I mean, that is a bitter. That is a bitter grain, and of course, black malt up against that wall of golden promise. Oof a doof.
Now, black malt.
Got a
There
couple
we-
choices. It looks like.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, each nation has its own.
Yeah, it's own brand. God, look at that. So that's a pound. So if you look on the right side of the screen, you'll see the
The color.
color. So this is adding 1/4 of a pound. That's how much it changes.
Yeah, but
What was our SRM?
and the flavor is rare. I'll pull it up for you. Now the SRM is 24.
Oh, great, that's 24 with 1 pound. Boop, boop, done. There you go.
There's a full pound of it in there.
No, it's a 1/4 pound.
Oh, just still quarter?
Quarter pound.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you go to a full pound, get a little of this nonsense.
Oh yeah, it just becomes a portal to hell.
Yeah, like, this is the Doomgate portal. Look at that thing.
Good God.
That's a half a pound. And it just doesn't get, you can't,
No, oh, yeah.
you can't even register the darkness.
You've hit the threshold. Yeah, you've hit the point at which it can't be determined anymore.
Yeah.
No, but that's what they want, man. They want
We could actually stop here with the grains. We
Yeah.
don't need to add anything more.
We've hit target.
Right.
Right.
Now, there are 2 options you can do. If you want to put some caramel in, we could put a little bit of crystal in there.
Yeah,
Or-
which might be a nice send off
Or
from the
Victory.
golden.
Yep, or Victory.
Yeah.
Which is going to give us that really biscuity flavor to it.
Yeah.
Or nothing else. Keep it as is.
Yeah. So victory for the biscuit note. So Cara,
What?
what was the caramel grain?
It's going to be crystal.
Crystal.
Caramel crystal 20. Because we don't need to screw with the color much more.
No, it's there. It's more work for you, right?
Would a little bit of crystal caramel imply a hint of the sangolith? Yes, I think it might.
Well, the crystal would be a funny pun.
Yeah.
Like there's still some lingering aspect of it, which is, there's a case to be made.
It's true.
So victory caramel or nothing, right?
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Take a looky-loo at these fine products.
Yeah. Actually, that would be kind of neat to do this and then put the sparkles in it. The glitter.
Which?
This beer.
this?
Yeah.
Oh, it'd be amazing.
It'd be great for Chris.
I mean, yeah, the whole idea is that it's
yeah.
glinting and
Are you
shining.
kidding? Jesus, I can't believe there's so much.
Brianish, was there ever a thought of detailing the wandering crypt in the AI book? For sure. The truth is, right, that, at one point, we, and we've been fairly open about this, it was going to be a Kickstarter at first. Indeed, that's why That's originally why we hired Alyssa. It's just that it turned out that having a project manager was rad, and it allowed us to accomplish a lot of really cool shit. And then eventually we got back around to the book project, and right about the time we got done figuring out how that would look, that's when we were approached by Wizards. So if you pursuant to that, your boys here, we came up with the stretch goal. Do you recall the adventure when we hung out with Chris?
Oh yeah.
So he got an Airbnb, and we put together one of the coolest adventures of all time.
The whole campaign, actually.
Yeah, no, a 1 to 10 campaign. I wanted to hear. So now that you know, if you have the book, you know that the book establishes about half of the book is an adventure for 1 to 6, right? So what we did was we basically granted like another opportunity to start as an Acquisitions Incorporated franchise, except we had a full 1 to 10 campaign, but it had 3 different 1 to 3s. So basically, you would talk to your party, or as a dungeon master, you would choose which of these you wanted, and each of those 1 to 3s is your HQ, right? So whatever it's like. What were the 3? There was the abandoned mountain pass tower, the watchtower,
The blacksmith
the blacksmith.
was...
the blacksmith.
It became a bazaar. A merchant's bazaar.
Merchant's Bazaar. And so every one of these actually...
And the other one was the ship.
The ship. And so every one of these HQs also has like its own level up track, right? So each of them has like an elite version of it, right? And so, but all that stuff, that is all still real. And so when it comes to like the Wandering Crypt or other things, like this is the base book to introduce people. The idea that all dungeons are in some way derived from a creature born of a crystal prison. Now we're getting into some stuff. I think that there's some types of AI content that bookwise we can't do until we've got the basis, until we have the basic idea established, right? Yeah. So, I mean, hopefully that's the opportunity we got. They want that caramel crystal.
Yeah, looks
And
great.
they're going to get it.
So putting in just a quarter pound of caramel brings us right up to 24 on the SRM scale, and we're at 9% ABV.
Exquisite. All right, now, so is it time to talk about the guest?
We need hops.
Oh, hop.
But with this,
Hops are so important in beer.
you know, it's a thing. I mean,
Some
I'm not
like
saying
it.
it's been used for centuries, but you know,
for an
fucking,
ale,
yeah.
for an ale, typically the hopping is not bumped.
No, we're gonna go one of these. So what does hopping look like for the blade?
Well, it works for us because it works twice, right? We're still talking about a nature goddess. So there should be a couple interesting things that we can do. Now, I mean, to my mind, the first thing I would think of would be Polaris. But Polaris has a mint note, and I'm not sure if that's going to work with the rest of our shit.
I think it might be too strong.
Which is the bummer. So the reason I say Polaris is because it has a an ice mint.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, we could try. There's nothing saying
there's
we
a
can't try.
mouth feel.
Here's the fun
True,
thing about
true,
Here's the fun thing
true.
about homebrewing is you can try this stuff and not have to worry about it.
No, that's all dumb. I don't have to foreclose.
Stop. You came up with a good idea that makes sense for this character.
Who knows what it'll taste like? Let's find out.
Who cares?
Let's find out. So Polaris is a novel. It's an interesting. It's a strong hop, right? But it has something like
I'll read it to
ice mint. Yeah, I was just gonna say where.
So it is described
feel it in
as
your breath.
ice candy, eucalyptus, peppermint, and citrus.
Yeah, so
that's gonna be. I mean,
a
it's
little
gonna,
alien.
It's going to be weird for a red, an Irish red, but for this character, this weapon, it's kind of pretty neat.
Yeah,
It's
but it is
foreign,
cooling.
it's
There is something
alien,
about
it's
that oil.
cooling, yeah.
There is something about that oil that is cooling
Yeah.
on the inhale. Like
So-
it's really odd. So Polaris might be a really interesting wintry hop
Yes. So another one that works perfectly in these beers
in
is
that
Fuggles.
style. Yeah. So hook them up with the Fuggle. That's
It's-
approaching classic.
Yeah, it's classic, but it's floral. It's grassy. It has, it brings out the nature, and
Yep.
it's mild and soft, so it's very balanced. This would be the balanced hop.
So give that a try. And yeah, because it's an ale, like it isn't like the other ones where we're throwing bags of shit
No.
in secondary.
I can't wait to
sacks.
freaking see this. I cannot wait to see this happen.
Yeah. So Unity says, Jerford, I stopped by to catch the book talk. Do you know how much of a hassle it's going to be to pull my boiler and chill coil out of the back of the garage? I'm going to have to run an extension cord to hook the brewing fridge back up. I blame you for this. Man, there's going to be so much sterilizing. Yes.
Yeah, welcome to the club,
I was
buddy.
going to say, you now know the pain of Ghostly Clockwork and Jack Lemmon. You know their torments are manifold. Now, we do have, of course, we have a leg up on your process a little bit because our kettle...
Oh, Jesus, don't fucking rub it in, man.
Well, I'm just saying, like, at least our kettle, like,
Yeah.
that's the main thing that we like about it.
Yeah.
Is
Not the cleaning.
it's just the laziness, right?
Yeah.
Like, the reality is that
That's a good way to put it, yeah.
we brew more
Yeah.
because some of that onerous aspect is gone. But no, the secondary tanks, those are fucked. Like you got to go nuts on those.
Yeah, it's like a baby's diaper. It's just not,
Oh,
not
no, it's
pleasant.
yeah. There's product, for lack of a better term. Hey, so EMW says. Specifically, EMW3 says, gentlemen, my Acting book was delivered 2 hours ago. Just finished my first read through. Skipped the adventure. Well done, very well done. And then we got some Amy the Falcon emotes in there.
Ooh.
Scary crazy. If your players call it the Accultulator, I think it's an index. What kind of table are you running? Think about that. What kind of table are you running over there? Consider it. No, they want to go ham on the Polaris.
Listen. Polaris.
Dude, let's hope that citrus gets increased. Let's hope it goes this way.
What was our IBU count?
Well, the IBU I have on here is 35.
Okay.
And it's super high alphas, right? So it's like it don't need a lot.
0.35 ounces.
Oh yeah, about a third of a bag.
Done.
I'm gonna find something else to do that Polaris with.
Yeasto.
Yep.
So.
Yeah. So now we have an opportunity to really go to take it in a direction.
Why is everything in Spanish now?
I don't know. That's a lot of Spanish, man.
So the classic one is just going to be the Irish ale yeast. It's
Dry
going to be
diacetyl?
yes, because with Irish reds, you want a little bit of buttery flavor in them. That's the traditional for Irish reds.
I mean, because that was my
And
read. I was like,
diacetyl.
I was like, butter?
Yeah,
Oh, so it's supposed to be savory.
yeah, like a toffee biscuity, which we've done, which we've accomplished. It's going to be a weird biscuity mint. It's like a Andes.
with the citrus
It's
angle.
we've just created an Andes mint.
Yeah, that you can drink
Yeah.
in times of trouble. Here's this is the Irish red yeast. Is that what you're calling it? The Irish ale.
Irish ale.
So it's a rich.
Yeah, you're gonna get full body, dry, clean, but it's gonna add a little bit of buttery characteristic to this, or think butterscotch.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's not just butter, because it's in this malt bomb. So it's gonna have a butterscotchy flavor.
Yeah.
God, that'll be wild. Something like smooth, like almost creamy. All right, dude. So Irish ale, that's our base. What else we got?
Actually, what about the London ale brands?
Yeah.
This is going to be, it's still dry and bold, but it's going to accentuate the fruit flavors inside of the beer, or inside of the hops.
So London ale.
Yep.
3. All right. So there's your choices. Now, as this is going through in your mind, they say Kilgar's like, go crazy. We use one of the high temp yeasts with the fruity esters. Yeah, just go nuts.
Yeah.
So here's the key. There's a lot of great names out there before. Bring those names back. In your mind, hold them.
Bring it
Don't type them in
back.
yet,
Bring it back.
but hold them there like a precious jewel. Imagine your mind is the setting, right? And the jewel is the name. But do not reveal it. It's not time. Don't type it in. Man, they are going for the fucking Irish ale.
It was a great choice.
Fucking wild. It's because of the the malt character in this is going to be so good anyway. If it has a little bit of that edge in the back. Oh, it's like Killian's.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what that taste is in there.
Pretty cool, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, essentially the yeast is putting out that diacetyl,
Yeah.
which, as we've described before, is considered an off flavor almost always,
Except now.
except here.
It was funny. I remember Killian's was like one of my first non-Coors or
Well, yeah.
Natty Ice beers, and I was like, "Oh man, I got a Killian."
Yeah, check me out.
Look at this.
Yeah, but you know right away that you're going somewhere else, right? They want Irish ale. Now, the name. We have approached that vital juncture. That vital juncture.
What's in the name?
Hexsanguinator. A little respect when you come home. Ghostly.
Like re-specification.
Ooh, Winter's Edge. That's fun. Breath of the Goddess. Hexus Chainsaw Massacre.
One weird hex.
Hexlock. Fun. Infinite Blade. Triple Hex rated. Okay,
Inhexable.
okay. So this has to do with the damn sword. I'm not having another Zero Dark 30.
Zero Dark Thirsty.
Whatever.
Red hex. Dohexahedron. Whizblade Hex. Hexecutioner's Son. Inhexorable. Hexlow Friend.
Ha! Okay, that's kind of fun.
Okay, so far I got Winter's Edge and Hexcalibur.
Gotti.
Yeah, instead of between seasons, Jim Rucky, I'm gonna try out of season.
Ha! Yeah, I like that. Hexcalibur. I mean that.
Oh, it's in there.
Oh, it is.
Fear not.
Did you? Yeah,
Fear
sorry.
not. Hex gonna give it to you.
Straight to the goddess scabbard. Okay.
Deus Hex.
Mug. Wow.
I'll do it.
Yeah.
I'll allow it.
Ha! Hexsanguinate. It's kind of actually
Hex.
has a ring to it.
That is kind of cool.
Occam's razor. Yeah. Hextacular, splentacular. I like that. Ahex predator. Yeah. Jesus.
No, he has no familiar currently. Aft Father. Pick a Hex sample out of you. Oh, Hex Father Ninja Nurse is coming in with a quality product.
Yeah. Do you have that down?
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Holy shit, Pook.
Hexual Feelings.
Tender Hex.
Tender Hex. Mail a second shoe. Exactly right. Hex Nihilo. It's interesting.
Hex Edge. That's simple. And Hex marks the spot. Jesus.
It's Foremother, yeah. Color composition is in the
Star
in
Hex.
the red
That's
range.
cool.
Asexual,
Terminus
hex chromosome,
Oh, Jesus. Power Exchange. Great.
power exchange. Hee hee.
Fucking bringing Hexy back. Yeah.
All right,
Hex Bomb.
here it come.
Executive Decision.
Sonic
The
the
Hex Hog.
Sonic the Hex Hug. This is devilry, and that's why I've started the poll. You beasts.
Okay, now we can. Now let's drop it with all these great other fucking fun names.
Yeah, I know it's a bunch of amazing shit.
Yeah. Wow.
Got some product in here.
Yeah.
Some solid product. Great expectations. Oh yeah, it's very good. Gruff the Crime Dog.
Nice.
It's great content.
I feel honored that Gruff the Crime Dog is in our. Was
Yeah,
in our
it
thing?
feels good. I feel like it's like if we're drawing the Crime Dog,
Yeah.
Number of the Beast. Number of the Beast.
Terminus Hex. Yeah.
Oh, Terminus
Yeah.
Hex. Another a classic reference there. Very tasteful, Dayton.
Whoa! I didn't realize there was a fight between a Hexcalibur and Deus Ex Machina.
There is quite the knife fight in there. Get your votes in there. correctly.
Hextrovert. Nice.
You know what? It's Hexcalibur by a nose.
Is it? Mm-hmm. I like it. I think that's a great name.
It's real close, but it got there. Gathered throng. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out, making a beer gift for our good friend Chris Straub, a premium gentleman, of course. Super interesting character arc that he's working through with Chris. Look, until next time, what a pleasure it's